I'm Kelly Kessner with another class at Investors Watchdog University. Our goal here is to help you protect yourself through a very dangerous landscape. And I'm here with Pat Huddleston, who's the founder of Investors Watchdog and the author of The Vigilant Investor. Hi, Pat.
Hey, Kelly, good to be with you.
So we're talking about an investing landscape that's very, very dangerous.
It is, yeah, and only getting more so. The North American Securities Administrators Association says that fraud targeting people over the age of 50 has doubled. And so what you're seeing is that the biggest generation in history is at more risk than they have ever been. So just getting worse and worse.
We're going to cover about one subject per video. We're going to try to keep them short, and we're going to start with investment scams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we are, and then we're going to move on from investment scams and find out exactly why we do fall for them. A lot of people think that it's gullibility or greed or low intelligence. What we find out, though, Kelly, is that it's just the way our brains are wired. We come pre-wired to fall for this stuff to some extent, and you can see that that's true because it's not just the uneducated who wind up losing money to these things. Huge investors, pension plans, college endowments, institutional investors lose money to the same kinds of scams that target blue-collar retirees.
And besides from just scams, we're going to be talking about different kinds of investment misconduct. I'm talking about stockbrokers or investment advisors and what you can do to protect yourself against those kinds of misconduct or different violations that they may fail. Absolutely.
No, we'll see common violations. We will see that there's a current wave of putting investors in alternative investments, and that can be dangerous to folks. We'll take a look at some of the sales tactics that these brokers use with a particular focus on the dangers to baby boomers and to elderly parents, perhaps.
Yeah, we're going to be specifically addressing those two particular groups because they seem to be a target right now.
Oh, that's absolutely right, yeah.
Didn't you say the statistics are swayed that there are so many baby boomers nowadays?
Well, 10,000 turning 65 every single day, yeah, that's a lot.
So we're going to help you come up with information or at least have some techniques to protect either yourselves or your parents or elderly investors against some of these problems.
Well, that's right, and people may react to this by saying, hey, wait a minute, I thought the government was supposed to protect me, right? Where's the SEC in all of this? And unfortunately, we hear that a lot, and we just think it really, it suggests a fundamental misunderstanding about what the regulators are and what they're supposed to do.
So people can't default to, oh, is the SEC protecting me, or it's safe because the SEC is out there?
Yeah, no, they can't really, because regulators are severely understaffed and underfunded, but even if they had all the funding in the world, they still wouldn't be able to protect you in the way that you're talking about. Now, you and I live in Atlanta, Kelly. I'll ask you, any crime in Atlanta?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, does that mean the cops aren't doing their job?
Of course not.
No, they're in the business of stopping crime in progress if they see it and bringing people to justice, right? But people look at the SEC and they say, hey, the SEC must not be doing their job. There are a lot of investment scams out there. I try to get people to think about the SEC like they would a police detective, right? They're there to bring violators to justice, and that does a lot of good because the scam they shut down today can't take anybody's nest egg tomorrow. But they can't ever possibly stop them from starting up in the first place.
So basically, an investor should treat this as walking down a dark alley, being protective, trying to avoid doing that or getting into dangerous situations.
That's a great way to say it. Yeah, people have been acting like they're walking down a spring meadow when in fact they've been the whole time walking down a dark alley.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great class and full of good information. And that's just an overview of what you've got to look forward to. We'll see you next week. Until then, class dismissed.